somebody who knows about these products rather than just self-medicating. That's very, very important. Because you need to make sure you're using something that is suitable for you, who you are. Okay, blood sugar levels, we talked about that. Caffeine overload. Okay, we don't get enough sleep, so what do? We load up on caffeine. Okay, so what's too much? Okay, more than 150 milligrams a day of caffeine is too much. That's more than 1 8-ounce cup of coffee.
I'll make believe I didn't hear that.
That's unfortunately true. It raises cortisol. Okay, too much coffee raises cortisol. Also raises estrogen. Right, so more than 1 8-ounce cup of coffee a day raises estrogen levels, and it also increases cortisol. So watch that coffee. And if you have to drink coffee, make sure you get coffee that's not been sprayed with pesticides or herbicides, or using, again, organic coffee. That's the form you want to use.
What if you're in a restaurant?
What was that question?
You're in a restaurant. No, not letting water.
Oh, no, I know. That's an exception. So then you go for an espresso for a smaller amount. Okay, and then to get the full benefit, I mean, they have found actually like a half an hour before exercising, just a tiny amount of caffeine actually enhances performance. So as long as you don't abuse it, just a tiny amount. You don't need that much, just a small amount. 2 to 3 ounces of coffee is enough to get your metabolism.
What about like green tea pills? Because those have caffeine in them. How much is too much?
Oh, okay, green tea, yeah. Actually, we're going to come to that later on, but I'll bring it up now since you brought it up. Usually, the green tea capsules tend to have like 7 to 8% caffeine, so it's very little. So it's like 10 milligrams per capsule. It's not much at all. But one capsule is often equivalent to 2 to 5, anywhere from 2 to 5 cups of tea a day.
And why would you take that?
If you're not a tea drinker, if you just
Just to get the
just to get the event. And we're going to come to that because there's an excellent handout on green tea helping with fat loss. They did a very good research study on that. Okay, hunger. Let's talk about that. Because some of you will say that, well, if I exercise, I get more hungry. So doesn't that, interfere then with my weight loss? Yes, you will get more hungry because you're burning off more calories, but what you'll often find is if you're eating more higher nutrient-dense foods, okay, you won't be as hungry. Because often the hunger is indication that you're actually lacking something through the diet. Okay, so whether it could be you're not having enough fat, you're not having enough vitamins or minerals, there's just something that's lacking in what you're eating. Okay, so you'll see a huge difference, for instance, like when we talked about doing some form of a liquid protein in the morning. If you add greens powder to that liquid in the morning, adding that additional greens will make a huge difference at staving off your hunger. And you won't be as hungry during your workouts. So it often is an indicator that there's something missing through your diet. I mean, it can also be emotional hunger, too. So there's other reasons for the hunger as well, too. It may not necessarily just be related to just exercising. All right, infections. This is really interesting, but they have found that people that have underlying infections that they're not aware of, like parasites, will often be a huge factor at preventing fat loss. Okay, so that's another very important aspect to what causes a weight gain. And a lot of time, that's one of the reasons why I really discourage people from eating a lot of sushi and raw fish, because one of the quickest and easiest ways to pick up parasites is eating a lot of that. And the thing is, when you have parasites, you don't necessarily have to have the bowel problems like the diarrhea, the bloating, or anything like that. I mean, it can be very subtle. You can have parasites in your system, and it can be a very subtle thing. So really minimize the intake of raw fish. Okay, it's been proven over and over again that there's definitely parasite issues with that. I know sushi is a big thing. I love it. I mean, I'm sure many of you love it too. But really keep it very minimal. And if you have to eat it at this time of year when the weather is much colder, okay, and the water where the fish are caught is much colder too, as opposed to during the heat of summer, which is the worst time to eat sushi. You should never eat raw fish during the sun. Okay, so very, very important. Okay, great. So those were some of the major causes of weight gain. that I really wanted to discuss with all of you, because I feel that many people don't know what are all the factors that are involved. Like, you know, we complain, oh, I can't lose weight, I don't know why I can't lose weight, but there's always an underlying reason why you can't lose weight. Okay, especially if you're really trying hard, there's always a very good reason. But the key thing is to really look at all those different factors and then putting it all together. And you know, I can guarantee you that you will see results in your weight loss regimen just on your own. These are things that you can just do on your own and do very well. All right, so let's take a look at more suggestions to help. Let's be more proactive. What can we do to be more proactive at helping our weight loss? Okay, the first thing I have listed there is organic green tea. Okay, and again, making sure that the tea is organic, because in Asia they really heavily spray tea with pesticides and herbicides. So it's very important that you buy organic when you buy green tea. Otherwise, seriously, don't drink it. It's not worth drinking it. The other thing I recommend is hot water and lime, like half a fresh lime or half a lemon, because that works as a natural diuretic, but it also has a very cleansing effect on the gallbladder, on the liver, on the kidneys. So it's a very healthy thing to do to start your day first thing in the morning. And then on the green tea, by the way, minimum to drink is 3 mugs a day for fat loss. Okay, so if you can get in 3 mugs a day, you'll get results.
Does the water have to be hot?
Ideally, yes, because it's the heat combined with the lemon or the lime that really has that cleansing effect.
And a whole half of lemon?
A whole half, yeah.
You
Exactly.
squeeze it in and then put it in, or just?
No, just squeeze it, because you don't. Because if you're not buying organic limes or lemons, you don't want the skin to go into your hot water. Exactly. So squeeze it. So use a half. Right. Exactly. And then for those of you who don't drink green tea, then you would switch to a green tea supplement, an extract. And actually, that brings us to the handout called Green Tea Extracts, Stokes Thermogenesis. Okay, thermogenesis is basically increasing your core temperature, your body temperature. So green tea lets your body think that you're exercising. Okay, so it does that by oxidizing fats and carbohydrates, and also a little bit of protein as well. So, and they've done studies, and they've really looked at people where they've compared them with drinking caffeine or taking a placebo, and the ones who drank the green tea, actually who took a green tea supplement, which is actually a supplement, in this study, found that they actually lost a lot more fat and weight. Okay, so
But you still need to work out.
Yes, yes, you do. That's right. No, because the advantage of adding the green tea extract is that, you know, like when you exercise, how your body temperature goes up, and that's why you're getting everything moving. You're sweating, you're getting your whole system going. Green tea actually maintains that for many hours later. So that's the advantage of adding the green tea extract, okay, to your weight loss regimen.
Does it matter if you take it before you work out or?
Anytime actually is good. But actually that's not a bad idea, taking it probably before a workout. Before you start to raise that core body temperature. Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. And they found that even in men, they actually got results, you know, using the green tea extract. Okay, and then we talked about starting the day with a healthy protein shake. For those of you who are not into doing a liquid for breakfast, you could always do a healthy protein bar. Okay, and then the key thing to make sure is that it's not loaded with tons of sugar, because a lot of protein bars are loaded with sugar, or loaded with wheat, or loaded with dairy. So, you know, choose a bar wisely. Choose something. What brands? Okay, actually there's a very good one called Organic Food Bar. And they do an original protein bar, which has 14 grams of protein. They have another one that's 21 grams of protein, but it's not tasty, so I would recommend it. You would try it. It's called the brown rice protein bar. Okay, so that one is a 21. It has 21 grams of protein, which is very good. But you know, ideally anywhere from 14 to 20 grams for breakfast is what you're looking for protein. Okay. There's something called glucose balance bars. They're very good. Usually you can only buy those online, though they're not available in the stores. Okay, there's something else called ultra meal bars. Those are very good. Those are actually designed for fat loss, for improving body composition.